And we are learning that Putin has landed in Beijing just hours ago for his two-day visit. Earlier, we spoke with retired Colonel Grant ניושאם about the wars in Ukraine and Gaza and China's involvement in them. ניושאם is a senior fellow at the Center for Security Policy and author of When China Attacks. Grant ניושאם, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Now, recently there's been a lot of developments in both the Ukraine and Israel-Hamas conflicts, but I want to talk about China's involvement first. So White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre just said, quote, "We find it unacceptable that the Chinese companies are helping Putin wage this war against Ukraine." What do you make of her statement, but also what's in it for China to be involved?
Well, as for the statement, they find it unacceptable, but the Chinese don't care. If that's as much as you're going to do, and then put on some sanctions on a few Chinese companies, of which they're going to replace immediately, you're really not serious about this. The benefit for China from all of this is it completely distracts the United States, the West, from any serious attention on China. You'll notice how China has dropped off of the headlines in the last month or two. And the more the fighting goes on in Ukraine, the more the Americans have to focus on that, and things are getting pretty dicey there. You're emptying out American arsenals. The same thing goes with Gaza. It's a huge political issue in the United States. It's caused chaos in parts of the U.S., certainly on some college campuses. It has handcuffed U.S. political movement. The administration clearly is trying to thread a needle unsuccessfully and play both sides of this. And you'll notice that in all of this, China benefits. China really does get an advantage from this lack of attention that is being paid to China, to the Western Pacific. So what's not to like if you're Beijing?